The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I that a path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I RASTA go walk through the valley and the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil, for thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepared a table before right in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I head with uno oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God Jah. Kadama we groma be tailor where twos and threes meet in the name of the Most High Jah. And that's so Jah there. If Jah never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain. Same way if Jah never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. Jah shall protect all his bone them. Jah shall make sure none of him bone them are go broke down. And I give thanks. And I give thanks. And I give thanks. How ma usobo Lisa? I don't know what to. It was sick player for. How ma usobo Lisa? Akpe, 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 akpe kaka, akpe sia. This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk RASTA. In every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Very nutritious. Ingredients of so many different shapes, sizes, colors, aromas, and flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot where they are subjected to some amount of heating. The resultant product is food. Paradoxically, ironically, the ingredients and even the black pot do not partake in the eating of the food. It is us, the eaters, who never contributed. Yet every time, the ingredients and the black pot will rise to the occasion to produce food that they do not eat themselves. Oh, what selflessness. It's a lesson of selflessness. It's a lesson for us to behold and uphold. It's a lesson for us to think generationally. Yes? Are we generational thinkers? How many years ahead do you think? Is it 1 year, then plant maize? Is it 10 years, plant trees? And if you are thinking forever, plant human beings. When you plant human beings, you plant a whole generation. How many of us will tell ourselves, oh, let's eat it all. After all, tomorrow we die. How many people tell themselves, I worked hard for this. I am not sharing with anybody. Even though I don't need it, I will force myself and need it. How many of us think that people who have not made it or are poor are lazy? Think about all this. As we make babies, we make children 9, 10 days, we must also be thinking about their welfare. If those who came before us ate everything up, destroyed everything, we would have nothing to inherit. That is why we have to be generational thinkers. This is the Joshua generation where we need able-bodied men and women to make sure that institutions are working so that we will no longer need physically strong men in these times in Africa, but strong institutions. This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show. Here, we don't do politics. We don't do religion. We don't do sports. What we talk about is patriotism, not politics. We don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we'd only criticize for one condition, one reason, on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. We are live on YouTube, and that's our YouTube channel, Black Empire Media. Please make sure you subscribe to that channel and click on the bell so that you'll be notified anytime we come on live, so you can watch us. Do me yet another favor. Please share this broadcast so that more people would be able to watch this broadcast. We are looking for a better nation, a better continent, a better people. Now, the good news here is one and simple. This show is a show of the mindset. We are rewiring the mindset of the average African. We have gone through so much miseducation, mental slavery. It's time to unlearn all these things so that we can be a truly independent people. This is the Blackport, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truths to power. And I'm most excited to tell you that we are supported by EZIT. And EZIT simply means in spirit, in truth. In spirit, in truth. Now, this is a social media platform that is so positive. They are powerful algorithms that remove anything negative before it even comes up. So if your regular social media platform is nothing but negative, violence, nudity, and even racism, this is your app. Please download this app from Google Play and App Store. I am on EZIT. Are you on EZIT? May I let out another secret? Now, this app was built by Ghanaian engineers in America. Another reason you should be supporting this powerful app. What can you do with EZIT? You can go live just like your regular social media platform. You can upload your videos and photos, and you can make audio and video calls. This is EZIT. Soon we're going to have the EZIT TV broadcast around the world, and it's going to be most powerful. This is another big media house coming up on EZIT. Support it. Thank you so much for supporting this. We are also supported by Le Shrine. Now, Le Shrine is an executive club right here in Accra at La Boma Beach. They have a mini hotel and a beautiful, sexy swimming pool. Now, the good news is that every day there is an event. On Monday, they have the karaoke night and then the adult night. Make sure you don't go with your children. Make sure you go as adults, 18 plus, because it's quite X-rated. It's only for adults. On Wednesday, we have the reggae night, where reggae music is all over on the beach. You take a walk on the beach and enjoy the freshness of the Atlantic Ocean. Oh gosh, when reggae is blazing everywhere. Black Santino is responsible for that. On Sundays, they have the special ladies night. It's another adult night. Make sure that you go and enjoy yourself. Now at Le Shrine, we say anything you want to see, go and witness it yourself. These are the numbers to call if you want to have your private parties. Yes, make sure you call these numbers and have fun. Call me and tell me later that you were blown away. Le Shrine is new on the beach. This is what it is. My name is Blakk RASTA. I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. Today we have 4 very powerful things to deal with. We have reduced the number of things we talk about so we can accommodate your messages coming in. So take advantage of this and make your messages flood the whole platform. Send them coming in. My name is Blakk RASTA. This is the Blackport, a.k.a. Kukushonomo. And here we speak truth to power. Number 1, run the rhythm. He says what? George Alhassan regrets playing for Ghana. George Alhassan. This is George Alhassan. One of the best players of football that Ghana has ever produced. He was a goal-scoring machine. He was a great player. In fact, people talked about him all over the world. George Alhassan. In his heydays, he was a dribbling machine. He banged in goals. He made fans of the sport so excited. He was a hero. Why is he regretting for playing for the nation Ghana? I regret picking Ghana over Burkina Faso. And this is George Alhassan talking. Run the story. Former great Olympics legend George Alhassan says ditching the Stallions of Burkina Faso to play for the Black Stars of Ghana remains one of the most regretful decisions of his football career. Come here. Watch me. Narrating his ordeal, the 68-year-old football administrator said, he originates from Burkina Faso, but his Burkinabe dad migrated to Ghana where he was born. I regret not playing from Burkina Faso. Originally, I come from Burkina Faso, same as my dad, but I was born in Ghana, and that was how I stayed here and became a Ghanaian, he told Dan Kwekuyaboa TV. It remains one of my greatest regrets because I even scored in a game against Burkina Faso. Yes, there are issues, but I prefer to remain mute because what we achieved for Ghana, none of our promises were fulfilled. In other words, the promises made to them, none of them got fulfilled. Alhassan played for Accra Great Olympics from 1974 to 1982 and later returned to play from 1985 to 1990. In the process, he won the Ghana Premier League in his debut season in 1974. From 1982 to 1984, he played for FC 105 Libreville in Gabon, where he won 2 trophies. The Gabon Championnat National in 1983 and the COUP du Gabon Interclub in 1984. George Alhassan was named the Ghana Premier League top scorer in 1997. And 1985 was also part of the Black Stars African Cup of Nations winning team in 1978 and 1982, respectively. Currently, George Alhassan serves as the team manager for Accra Great Olympics, a position he has held since 2020. That's him. Seated quietly at 68, he might be looking around him and saying that, oh my God, what a wasted years. What wasted effort. What is George Alhassan really saying? Come here! Watch me. Hey. George Alhassan, with all respect, your father was Burkinabe. He left Burkina Faso for reasons best known to him. Maybe running away from ritual murder. Maybe running away from a certain kind of tribal war. For whatever it was, he found Ghana a very fertile ground to stay and produce you. If your father had probably not come to Ghana, you would have been born in a certain condition that your father himself would have regretted. Maybe you would have been born with one leg because of a tribal war. Maybe because of a certain disease that had taken over the area that made your father run away from Burkina Faso to Ghana. You would have caught that disease and you probably would have had polio or some other disease which will make you not to be able to use your limbs. So if your father thought it wise to leave and come to a safe haven to produce you, you will not be smart. You will not be a wise man to say that I wish I had played for Burkina Faso. I don't know how many people think I'm making sense. Watch me. You see, go to Burkina Faso and find out the players who played for their national team. Your condition is far better than some of them. Yes, you were an extraordinarily talented player. You won African Cups 3 times. You played for Great Olympics. You did so well. You had glory in your days. There are people who played better than you, but they are in worse conditions in Burkina Faso and also in Ghana, even in Europe. I do understand that our nation never actually takes care of its heroes and heroines, aka sheroes. But that is what we are changing. That narrative is changing with time. Your father sacrificed. He ran away from a certain calamity and came to a fertile ground to plant a seed that gave birth to you. you should rather thank your father. What you are saying, you might think that you are talking against Ghana, but you're talking against your father. So, what are the Ghanaian people saying? If he wants to be Burkinabe, why don't you relocate him to Burkina Faso? Take up all the papers. You are still a powerful man. And you still have a choice. You can naturalize as a Burkinabe and go there. Today, look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. There's a coup d'etat there. Terrorism is happening in that country. Instead of sitting back and saying, thank God, at my age I would have been caught in this terrible coup d'etat and terrorism, I could have ended my life. But the human beings that we are, we always see the bad side of everything. I should have played for Burkina Faso. Can I list a number of players who played for the Stallions and never saw the light of the day, even though in their days they were very, very good? Please don't let us look down on the nation. It is good to talk about the bad administration, but when you start talking nationality, it hurts me. This man is not a patriot. He is not a patriot. And this is what we've been talking about, patriotism. You know why? Should I go further? Come here. Watch me. He said he scored against Burkina Faso and it hurt him. It means his heart is with Burkina Faso. That cannot be a patriot. Do you all remember Rajevac Milovan? He was a Serbian coach who came to Ghana to coach the Black Stars. Serbian coach, Rajevac Milovan. And when Ghana met with his country, Serbia, at the World Cup in 2010, Ghana banked in the goals. And when Ghanaians were jubilating, some of the players came to carry him shoulder high. He kicked all of them and punched them away. Because this was his nation that he had supported to beat. Football is bigger than just a game. Football is a game of nationality. Football is nationalism. Football is patriotism. It is sad. That was what Milovan Rajevac did to Ghana in 2010. And when he was interviewed after, he said, how can I jubilate over the loss of my country? My brother, he wished his country had beaten Ghana 50 goals to nil so that he would have jubilated all over the place that year. Can we think about it? This one gives us a certain clarion call that we must grow our own homegrown coaches and homegrown players. George Alhassan, I'm truly disappointed in you. I've spoken about you several times in the African history class. I don't know if all age is taking a better part of him, but I want to believe that his faculties are all working right. In your days, he used to wear jelly curls and all that. You had fun. I don't know how many Ghanaian fruits you harvested in those days. But when everything was rosy, it was nice. But when things turn upside down because of some idiots in power, it must not give you the chance to talk against them. Look at this guy. I'm so shocked. I'm going to give you yet another example. And it's sad. Patriotism should be something that we should all be thinking about. Look at this guy. How many people know him? He's called Samuel Nkum, right? I lost my position and 1 month's salary for choosing Ghana over my club. The club paid him more. The club gave him a better condition of service. The club respected him more than his own country respected him. The club gave him a lot of bourgeoisie-ness. They treated him like a bourgeoisie. But he chose his country. This is Samuel Nkum. Today, he's retired. He's sitting here. How many people even go to him to shake hands with him to say, oh, Charlie, you did well. This is the nation we are in. we do not regard our heroes. But that is not a reason for us to turn our back to our nation and speak all forms of evil. May I go deeper? Can I tell you the story of Edson Arantes de Nascimento? You want to hear that name again? Edson Arantes de Nascimento, a.k.a. Pele. Find me a photograph of Pele. Pele, at the helm of his career in Brazil, he was number one. He played football as if he invented football. All the clubs wanted him to play. But the Brazilian people said, you know what? The kind of talent you have, let's keep it home. Let us use you to grow more talents. And Pele refused and stayed in Brazil. He turned down all the foreign deals. Today, when we talk football, the number one nation everybody looks at is Brazil. That was the sacrifice. He is happy wherever he is now. When we sacrifice for our nation, we should never turn our backs and regret. I understand. Sometimes dirty politicians will do something that makes you think that, I've wasted all my years here. No. Don't let the devil trick you. You are not working for no dirty politician. You are working for the motherland. If nobody would hail you, the ground, the spirits of the land would hail you. You might not benefit directly now. But generationally, the children you are making on the land shall be blessed. They shall eat the fruit of the land. They shall enjoy the milk and honey flowing from the land. No man should ever regret for doing something positive for his land. George Alhassan. I am shocked at this. Yet he's still in Ghana, making money and coaching and doing some other things like that. It's sad. If I were the president of this nation, I'll quickly invite him and take the passport from him, ship him in a first-class flight to Burkina Faso, and I'll land him right there at the military camp where terrorism is at its helm, so that he will sit there. That is when people will realize that, it's a case of the raven wanting to be a swan and saying that all the other birds are enjoying themselves and they are good. It finally found out that it was better off. To God be the glory. This is the Black Pot. It's a show of patriotism, the mindset. Don't run away from the country because of Nanado. Don't start selling your country because of dirty politicians like Baumia and the rest. That's why we talk to them vehemently. We don't fear them. It's our land. It's our signature, our DNA. When I meet them, I go to them straight away. They are nothing. When I see them, I see nothing. Anybody who has no respect for the land is nothing. It's a non-entity. How can you live on the land and you don't respect it and you hope to be able to benefit from the land? What kind of crop? You are a rapist of the land. That is why when I speak my mind. When I meet them, I approach them with fire in my eyes. I don't need them. I don't need them. That is the posture you must also have. Kai, Jesus have mercy. Come here. Next story. The next story is related to this one. It will bring tears in your eyes. Accra to London by road. Why? Why? Look at these guys. They are 12 in number. 1 female, 11 males. They are fed up with the nation. They are happy to leave this nation. Go all the way to London by road. The story is interesting. Just listen to it. 12 men, 1 woman. That means there are even 13. Attempt driving 10,000 kilometers from Accra to London. Run the story. Call it a bold, audacious, or even outright insane attempt by anybody, let alone a full team of more than a dozen persons. And you may not be far from being justified in that thought. But as wild a thought as that may be, It is already a plan in motion as some 12 men and one woman are currently on the road on a historic trip from Accra, Ghana's capital, to London, the administrative capital of the United Kingdom. The mission is simple. Drive 10,000 kilometers from Accra to London while having fun. And they estimate to be in London by Sunday, August 6th, or Monday, August 7th, 2023. Speaking in an interview with Kwame Sefakai, one of the team members referred to as Saksaka, and speaking from Spain, he said their motivation is because they have heard many stories of how people have traveled from other foreign countries to Ghana and other African countries. He added that they are attempting this as a fun activity. We are explorers and we are doing this for fun. We read about people driving from Europe to Ghana all the time, and we also plan to do it, and we are almost there. Dash. My brother, you have watched a lot of horror movies, and normally they have the same storyline. It starts with fun. Then some fish starts biting them and eating them in the night. Some ghosts come and start eating them and killing them. Horror films are all the same. It starts with fun. Oh, we are having fun, then it becomes horrible. My brother, these guys want to drive 10,000 kilometers to London. What is the route? When you read the story, you see the route they are taking. Do we remember the Tuaregs on the deserts who were killing other black people? Have we seen the rates of coup d'etats all over Africa? Are we safe? Are they going to be passing through Timbuktu, where terrible gunfire is heard every second? Why risk? Dash that away. Let me tell you another thing. You know what this trip is going to do? And that is why I chose this story. If they succeed in doing it, Ghana will be empty in the next 5 years. Every Ghanaian is going to go to England, London by road. Look at Ghanaians leaving this nation by road. Some of them become carcasses on the deserts. Are you not fed up? Look how many people try to go by sea. Lampedusa on my mind. In the days, they forced us on ships and carried us away. Today, they are chasing us back and we are crying. We are sitting in anything that floats on the sea, going all the way through Lampedusa to enter Spain and some other places. Our own so-called African brethren who have denied us, and they say they are not African, the Moroccans and some North Africans, when they see us, they see the devil's incarnate. They shoot and kill us. Today is happening in Tunisia. The Tunisian government is chasing out black people. They don't only chase you out, they arrest you and take you to the desert and leave you there with no water, no food for you to die. You think it's a joke? In Tunisia, right now. They go out on the street and they capture black people. They don't consider themselves black. These are the North Africans who try to be part of the European Union. Because of their color, they don't want to affiliate with any dark African. They see you as urchins. They see you as people who are a certain kind of parasites to them. Kaska in Hausa. So our brothers and sisters in Tunisia, the sisters are lucky to just be raped and be dumped. As for the brothers, they capture them and throw them in the desert with no compasses, no food, no water. They die in the heat of the sun. And a group of Ghanaians say that they are moving all the way to London by road. It might be for fun, brethren. You might enjoy on the way. You might be lucky to return alive. But you are setting a precedence. A lot of Ghanaians now will see the way to London by road. And before you realize, some of your village chiefs are all joining the road to London 10,000 kilometers away. You might think it's a joke. Wait until the country is all empty. Go on the road. You will see how many Ghanaians would have been shot and killed. All because somebody has invented a way to London. Anyway, that's what it is. It hurts me. If you want to go to London and you are a politician, we are not allowing you until you make Ghana another London. No politician should be given the right to travel outside Ghana to seek medical attention. Any politician who wants to travel for any enjoyment, anywhere, tourism, whatever, should be in Africa. If all African countries made this a law, that once you are a politician and a public office holder in politics, no foreign medical treatments for you, no foreign education for you. All tourism should be done in Africa. Can you imagine how much Africa is going to earn in terms of tourism? But no, our holiday hubs are Dubai, China, America, England. Do you know how much Dubai is making from tourism? Africa has everything you can see. But no, we have demonized the continent and we are doing other things. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kokoshonamo. And here we speak truth to power. When we return, we have more. We are going to be taking some more stories. And we will also be looking at the comments that you have sent in. It's a show of the mindset. Hey! Whoa!
Blakk Pot, Kokoshonamo.
This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kokoshonamo. Remember to share the broadcast. Let the broadcast go far and wide. This is what you should be sharing. Not messages of the pie in the sky. Not messages of drinking anointing water and sleeping and becoming rich. Not messages of cows jumping over full moons. Not messages of dishes running away with spoons. These are the messages you should be sharing. Let's rake in the numbers. This is the Blakk Pot. Your messages are going to be read soon. In the interim, let me leave Ghana and go to Niger. Next thing I'm looking at is right there in Niger. The Niger coup slap on democracy. Look at the coup. Niger, the latest coup in Africa, Niger. Abdurrahmani Chiri, my brother, my sister. And when you look at Russia, you know something is happening. How many of you know this other person standing by him? That's a South African president. You all know him, Ramaphosa, right? Cyril Ramaphosa. He's a big ally to Russia. But something is going to happen. Africa's latest coup is a headache for the West and an opportunity for Russia. Wow. This is from CNN. Days after the democratically elected president of Niger was deposed in a military coup, thousands of supporters of the takeover thronged the French embassy in the nation's capital to deliver an unmistakable message to their former colonial power and its Western allies. As President Mohamed Bazoum was being held captive by his soldiers at the presidential palace in Niamey, tense scenes played out down the road where pro-coup Nigerians, some waving Russian flags, chanted "Long live Putin, long live Putin," and down with France as a plaque at the embassy was torn down. The images reverberated through the halls of power at the Élysée Palace in Paris. Thousands of miles away, French President Emmanuel Macron threatened retaliation against any attacks on French nationals and condemned the coup as completely illegitimate, yes, illegitimate, and profoundly dangerous for the Nigerians, Niger, and the whole region. The United States and other Western nations also condemned the coup. And a bloc of Western African countries threatened to intervene militarily if Bazoum was not reinstated. U.S. President Joe Biden called for the immediate release of Bazoum in a written statement commemorating Niger's Independence Day, saying Washington stands with the people of Niger as the country faces a grave challenge to its democracy. The toppling of Bazoum was just the latest in a spate of recent coups, stretching from one side of Africa to the other. 5 countries in Western and Central Africa have been seized by military juntas in the last 3 years. 5 of them former French colonies. Did you see that? It says 5 countries, coups, and all of them, all 5, former French colonies. The coups have unfolded within the context of a wider struggle between the West and Russia for influence in Africa, where experts say a rising tide of anger in former French colonies has left the door open for the Kremlin. While there is no sign that Russia helped instigate Niger's rebellion, Moscow has sought to take advantage of anti-Western sentiment around the region in recent years. U.S. officials warned that the Russian mercenary group Wagner, which helps prop up several military juntas in the region, could seek to exploit the crisis in Niger. Wagner boss Yevgeny Prigozhin has celebrated the push and offered to help the country's new leaders. Africa is going through yet another wave of colonialism. Africa and the former French colonies are tired of France. All 5 coups d'etats, former French colonies, Niger, Burkina Faso, and so on and so forth. Many more are joining. That's what is happening. There must be a reason. Why is it that it's only in the French colonies, former French colonies? France has had a way of holding on to its colonies, using some kind of indirect rule and political manipulation and gymnastics to keep the people as puppets. I have said this time and again. France says, oh, we have helped, we have given a lot of money, we have supported them with security. But when you go to the French-speaking countries, my brother, they are like puppets on strings. First time I traveled to the Ivory Coast, I realized that everybody spoke French, even the illiterates. I realized that they behave like the French. They will leave a lot of hair under their armpits. As for the front there, like Dodowa Forest, they would wear shoes with no socks. They would drink tea in the hot afternoon. This is a French kind of thing. The one that broke my heart was the way the gendarme even behaved. Carrying guns all over like a military zone. And what did they do? If somebody was involved in an accident anywhere in the Ivory Coast, and for that matter, any other French-speaking country in Africa, no matter how injured that person was, they left the person on the street in the hot sun while they called the ambulance. When I saw it in the Ivory Coast, I was shocked. In front of my house, at Pub Way, respect to Tonton Kwaku, who received me. There was a bad accident. This guy was bleeding. I was lying on the road, and everybody was just standing by, shouting, "Oh, oh, oh, c'est quoi? Oh, c'est quoi? Hey, hey, oh, Dieu, Dieu." That's what they were saying. And I said, "Tonton, you have a car. Let's pick him and send him to the hospital." He said, "This is not Ghana." When somebody has an accident on the road, you leave him there and call the ambulance. I said, "Have they called the ambulance?" He said, "Well, yes." It took about 47 minutes to 50 minutes before the ambulance started coming, quing, 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 quing on the road. Your masters that you are copying in France, they have ambulances all over the place. When somebody has an accident right now, within 40 seconds, they are there to pick the person. You don't have that. You want to copy them. Before ambulance arrives, the person is dead. This is all French. Remember that when the French came to Africa, they had a certain system of governance known as assimilation. Jesus have mercy. Assimilation. And what did assimilation do? Everybody must behave French. Willie Lynch, talk like the French, walk like the French, behave like the French. You are French. A very serious, in fact, it is the worst form of colonialism. So when the French left, the so-called Francophone did not want to have anything to do with the Anglophone, so-called Anglophone. Have you tried it? Moving from an Anglophone place into a Francophone zone, they treat you like, because the British and the French had one of the longest wars in history. So they came and colonized us, and they bequeathed to us their rivalry and hatred. Try to move from Ghana to the Ivory Coast. At the border, you see, they are speaking French to you. On dit quoi? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak French. Oh. They don't care. The same Africans. Colonial boundaries and suppression. You may like to jubilate that the French is being chased out, that the people are trying to Africanize themselves. What has the AOU done? Yes, the OAU. Now the AU, have we been able to integrate after the assimilation? Now Russia is coming in. You think Russia is a friend? Yes, Russia did not colonize any nation. But we see what is happening between Russia and its own brother nation. My brother, this is serious. No foreign power can help Africa. Chase Russia out. Let Africans deal with their issues. Once you are taking the French out, take out the Russians. Let Africa come together and deal with this issue. Is it a slap on democracy? The president who was there was not even democratic himself. After 2 terms of power, 5 years each, he wanted to turn the constitution around and get another series of 5 years. What madness. That's what Alhassan Ouattara did in La Côte d'Ivoire. When we were fighting for the OAU, The king of assimilation in the Ivory Coast. They call him Le Vieux, the old man. He was not interested in Africans coming together because he was being puppeted by France. What did he say? He said, are Africans coming together to share poverty or what? What is the OAU at all? Can you believe that a man in his right senses said this when Africans were coming together? Because France controlled these people. A lot of the resources go to France. Hey, this is my area. If you give me the chance, I will speak till the end of time. Niger, Togo, Ghana, Gambia, the ECOWAS, the AU. This is the time to come together and be able to assimilate properly and integrate. Or else, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come in and puppet us. It's the Blakk Pot. When we return, we will take your messages. Hey! Wayo!
Blakk Pot, Coco show, man.
This is the Blakk Pot, Coco show no more, where we speak truth to power. What is the future of Africa? Should we allow any Tom, Dick, and Harry to come in and puppet us? When two elephants are fighting, then they take advantage of Africa. Everybody wants to control Africa. America wants influence in Africa. England wants influence in Africa. Russia wants influence in Africa. So when they are fighting amongst themselves, we become the sacrifice. That's not victory. Victory is when we can decide to align, not because two people are fighting. It's not every time. The enemies of our friends must become our enemies. Sometimes it's a different ball game. This is the Blakk Pot. Let your messages start coming in. Come here, let's read them. Boy. Yao Lifestyle says, hello everyone. Blessed love, Yao. And then he says he's watching from Dubai. Blessed love, Yao. Oscar Pendragon says, first to watch the idol, Black Rasta, for the wise are listening. Thank you. Oscar Pendragon says, salute, Blakk, watching you live from Tel Aviv, Israel. Israel is a beautiful place. I love Israel. Yao Lifestyle says, we are here to listen to educated people, right? It's an educated platform. Thank you. Karim Sadat Aduku says, good evening, Black Rasta. Put the pictures of teachers, pioneers, and their names on government exercise books and not footballers. Footballers don't teach in the classroom. Well, they all serve the nation. A farmer's photograph can also be on the exercise book. You know, I get your opinion, but we all serve the nation. I'm sure that he wants to say that when you go to the football stadium, they don't have the photographs of farmers there. It's photographs of footballers. Therefore, when you come to the classroom, our exercise books must have photos of teachers and all that. But anybody who is a patriot can have his photo anywhere, even at the stadium. No, Muhammad Abdullah says patriot. Sharif Ibrahim says, Woyo. Max Pro says, if you plant human beings, you plant the whole generation. Kai, what a proverb. You are too much, Black Rasta. Blessed. Henyo Raphael says, watching you from London, Black Rasta. Big up the people them inside London. Musa Jawad says, Black Rasta, good one. Speak for us. Max Pro says, we only criticize to build and not to destroy. Koko show them all. Amanda Shevchenko says, come here, hey! You think say you day wise. Holy MTV says, good evening, Black Rasta. God bless you and protect you for us, the youth. I wish to take a photo with you one day. Oh, yes, yes, why not? I want to do it too. Beta Bless GH says, welcome, soldier. I salute you always. You look good in your beautiful African wear. Indeed, you are a Pan-Africanist, and I can't wait to follow you everywhere you go. I want to say thank you. There's an African saying that goes, when a king does not have subjects, then he's only taking a walk. If nobody follows you, you're only taking a walk. You can't call yourself a king. So for you to choose to follow me, thank you so much. Joseph Zanu says, Black Rasta, welcome. I want to ask, why are our leaders stealing dollars, but you know we chop cedis? I like that question. Why? Please, I want to know. Listening live from Hohoi. They say the correct pronunciation is Hohoi. Alavanyo. Alavanyo is the headquarters of marijuana quality. Alavanyo. I like it. You know, if they steal cedis, the money will be too much to carry. Dollars will make it smaller. Yet the value is the same. So when a thief is stealing, and he goes for something small like this, and another one is big like this, but they have the same value, he will go for the smaller one, so that it will be easier to carry. That is why they are doing that. Olivius Nwinzi says, hello, Black Rasta. ECOWAS is good at condemning coup d'etats and actions like that, but not able to condemn actions that lead to coup d'etat. I like that, Mr. Nwinzi. Kimos says, I also say I. Vox says, I don't agree with you on this to some extent. Oh, on what? I wish you had mentioned it so that we will know exactly which of the issues. Alexander says, big up Black Rasta. Nuhu. Muhammad Abdallah says, to your first story, the regrets is due to unfulfilled promise. So think, yes, I mean, who promised? Politicians. That is not enough to let you forsake the land. Somebody promised you. You didn't do it. For that matter, you hate the land. Why not hate the person? If a man comes to slap you, do you hate him? Or do you hold him responsible? Or you hold the land responsible? That's the point I'm making. We all have gone through frustrations in Ghana. Should that mean that we should forsake Ghana and say we regret being here? No, sir. Then we all will leave here. Kibos GA says, I used to not care about the country and the continent until I started listening to you. I pray nature protects and guides you for us. We love you, our lecturer. Come here! Lenche. Kibos, thank you so much. Take that as a compliment. Please spread the word and spread the message so many other people can be proud patrons. Alexander says, Ghana, we need strong systems and strong institutions, and the Ghanaian constitution must also be changed. So, Black, are you saying we should not be paid for service for the nation? No. I'm sure I explained that. We have worked. We have been paid. Promises have been made that we will give you this as a reward. If it doesn't come, we don't have to hate the nation and regret that we were even here. Then anybody could buy you with money. Do you get it? If you are born to a poor father who promises you that, oh, this Christmas, I'll make sure that I take you to Israel, and Christmas comes and he's not able to do it, would you hate him? Would you hate him? Would you hate him? That's what we are looking at. Don't let us hate the nation because of stupid people. Some of them are not patriotic. They are only interested in themselves. Because of that, you say you hate your country, you want to leave. Because of a fools. Oh, Jesus. Then they have succeeded. That's what I'm talking about. Blakk, we can't sacrifice with empty stomach. If you follow your stomach, you can never be a patriot. That's why the Bible says, man shall not live by bread alone. When Jesus Christ was on the hills and mountains, fasting for 40 days and nights, he was only training you to be able to withstand hunger and fight. When Muslims fight for 30 days, they are fasting so that you can be trained to withstand hunger. Because all the religions and all the spiritual grounds understand that when you are on a hungry stomach, you can fight better. I'm telling you that. That's why the song, "The Angry Man is an Angry Man. I had to cook, but the youth not. We got to dance to jam music, yeah." The hungry man is an angry man. When you are angry, what does it mean? You are mad. You are going to ask for change. But when you are belly full, how can you fight? If all Ghanaians will stay in Ghana and be hungry, these dirty people will not be in power. But because we have another way we can escape through Lampedusa and be killed, we let them go free. I'm telling you that. Alexander says, strong systems, strong institutions, change of the constitution, way forward. Blessed love. No, Muhammad Abdullah says, assume you told your daughter, make me proud in your exam or something else, and she did you. Well, I want to believe that, well, you are trying to say that, oh, you promised your daughter that do well in the exam and I'll give you something. And the daughter did something and you couldn't do it. Or you refused to do it. A wise daughter will realize that she did it for herself. You are doing it for your nation. Why should you hate somebody who inspired you to even... If a father tells a son, hey, if you pass the exam, I'll buy you 2 eggs. You pass the exam very well and he doesn't give you the eggs. First and foremost, he has inspired you at least to be able to build a future for yourself. Let's look at that, the bigger picture, rather than the few idiots who are promising and they don't make it. Sammy Flex TV says, I'm on fire, Black Rasta. Today I'm watching live and enjoying the teaching as well. Oh, thanks so much. We do appreciate you. Sammy Flex is a brother I love so much. Sammy Flex TV. No, Muhammad Abdullah says, find the causes and put a stop before it spreads. That's true. But when you find the causes and run away and leave them here, they will spread. So like Jima Wena says, good evening, Black Rasta. Africa. Dobi Gubli says, good evening, Black Rasta. What is the benefit of Nigeria leading the so-called ECOWAS to fight Niger, whilst they can't defeat Boko Haram many years ago? Well, they are Boko Haram. They are doing what they can to fight Boko Haram. But in this case, one democratically elected president has been put there and removed. For me, you must always remove presidents and leaders democratically, no matter what. You can also impeach them. Let the institutions work. That's what we keep preaching. No, Muhammad Abdullah says they ask of quarantine when entering the Ivory Coast. Okay, quarantine. Quarantine, eh? It says quarantine. They have something they call it's like a residence permit. They ask you for that. And it's terrible. Any which way. The Black Port, a.k.a. Kukushonomo. Let's take the last one and we are done. Come here. Nana Addo, mad at aspiring flag bearers. Nana Akufo-Addo is so mad at the people who want to be flag bearers of his party. These are the people. Old men. All of them. Some of them have the energy. Some of them are comedians. Some of them too, oh boy, it's terrible. But what is Nana Addo saying? NPP polls. Akufo-Addo speaks against aspirants hurling invectives at each other and attacking government. That's it. All Nana Addo is saying is that don't attack the government. You are members of the party. See the mentality. Don't attack the government. When you go out, preach that the government is the best. All 10 of them have realized that if they say that they will lose, people would even attack them. Nana Addo is a joker. They should go and praise the government. They have realized that the easiest way they can win this race is to condemn your dirty government. I don't know how many people get it. Write down the most populist thing you can say in Ghana is Nana Addo is useless. And everybody, even dead bodies, resurrect and clap for you. He's saying that don't attack the government. You have a useless government. Your own vice president is preaching change. The people who serve in your government, they are all saying they will do better. They want change. Then what kind of governance have we had from you? Anyway, it's been the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Coco Showdemo, where we speak truth to power. We have more comments coming in. Yes, we have. Okay, let's look at the comments coming in and let's do it quickly. My brother, my sister, remember that this is the Blakk Pot. Remember to always be with us every day, Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. Ghana time, sharp GMT. And we are here on fire. We are supported by EZIT and also by Le Shrine. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is called Black Empire Media, and Black is spelled B-L-A-K-K. Remember to be part of it and click on the notification button so that you would always be alerted anytime we come on. This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Coco Showdemo, and here we speak truth to power. Comments coming in. Emmanuel Kujo says, Black Rasta, we're watching you from Atlanta, Georgia. I don't hear from you. If I don't hear from you a day, I feel like missing something big that day. Oh my God. Well, that's why I make sure that you always hear from me. Dobby Gubli says, if they cannot give peaceful revolution chance, the forced revolution becomes there. Of course, if there's no peaceful resolution, then we must take it by force. That's what it is. If persuasion fails, force must be applied. But in this case, you have another option to remove the person via the ballot box. And if you realize that the person has symptoms of stealing, then this is the only way you can get the person out. Yes. Some of the leaders are so thieving. They are demons. Smiles. A sweet smile says, as PLO Lumumba always says, the AU is a toothless bulldog. And this is Rahman from Tamale. J. Coleman says, respect Rasta. The Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Coco Showdemo. This is all time will allow us. I want to hail my professor from the University of Central Missouri, Professor Albion Mens. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Shelley is all the way in Texas. And to all my brethren in Dubai, in Spain, Alicante, and all over the world. Africa, Nigeria, Kenya. We love you. We appreciate you. It's been the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Coco Showdemo. And my name, Black Rasta. Hey! Warrior!